Hey, how you doing? It's Pastor Jake here from the Kingston Church. I hope you're having a blessed day. Hope this receives you well. This is a devotional video based on our sermon that we had on Sunday, which was based on Mark chapter 6, verses 7 through 13. As I'd mentioned, we're going to be doing short devotionals based on the sermon. So if you haven't seen that sermon and you'd like to see that sermon, there'll be a link in the description to that video so that you can take a look at that if you want. In that sermon, I had mentioned briefly the passage in Philippians 11, verses 14 and 15. It says this, it says, "Do all things without grumbling or disputing, that you may be blameless and innocent children of God, without blemish, in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world." So we think about missions, right? And we think about reaching people with the gospel. And even as we've talked about in these couple devotionals here, we talked about reaching a family, blessing a family. It's kind of like big level stuff, being able to help out a family out of trouble. Or even as we talk about missionary, like that's a big thing to be able to get to know a missionary family and engage with them on their mission through prayer and fasting. These are big level stuff. And sometimes we're more apt to sign up for that stuff, but really our calling is to be light. And I think that's one of the most difficult things that Jesus Christ charges us with, is to be salt and light in this world. That means we are to run up against, we should run up with our fellow workers and neighbors and family members and live life amongst them, but do so in a way that's completely different than the way that they do. Have different things to say and different reactions. Certainly our hope ought to be different than when their hope was. And I've mentioned this a lot during this political season. I think a lot of us dropped the ball with that. We looked just like whatever side we lined up with, whether it was left or right. I mean, we looked just like those people. Like that was the hope. Our hope was this president being elected or that president being elected, and we really missed an opportunity to have and put on display that our hope is not in this world, that our hope is something else, that we will submit to an earthly king or president, certainly, but we don't worship that earthly king or president. It is a different king from a different kingdom, who is God, that who is ultimately what our hope is in, who our hope is in. And so it can be difficult, just the mundane of life. Sometimes we think, well, yeah, if I was a preacher or a pastor or a missionary or something like this, then I could carry this stuff out. But really, the most effective way to carry out the gospel message is just in everyday, mundane, Monday through Friday, going to work and punching the clock and having those opportunities to be different. This passage specifically says to do all things without grumbling or disputing. What an awesome opportunity. Very difficult opportunity, to say the least, but what an awesome opportunity while everybody, all the co-workers are complaining and grumbling over a project that needs to be done or some aspect of work that isn't favorable to you or to anybody else, that you just get at it. You don't grumble, you don't dispute, man, you just get at it. Even if it's something that's, it isn't fair or, it's just that you shouldn't have to do this. Just do it anyways, and do it without grumbling and disputing. And why? Why are we called to do that? So that we might stand out, that we were the blameless and innocent children of God without blemish. In the midst of this crooked and twisted generation, everybody's grumbling and disputing, but yet we're just going at it in humility and meekness. And as a result, the contrast of those two different reactions to that situation, we are going to shine. We're going to shine, and it's going to lead people to ask questions. It makes Christ extremely attractive. So what are some opportunities just in your day-to-day life, at work or with your neighbor or wherever it is that you mix and mingle and live your life, your family, whatever it is? Where are opportunities for you to stand out differently in your approach and your being and how you do things, so that you may be a light, that you might shine as a light, and people might see Christ in you and in your response. So that's the devotional for today. I hope that's a blessing to you. As always, please reach out if you have any prayer requests, or if you are if you need something. Please let us know how we can bless you. We want to bless you, so let me know. Please reach out. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Like everything. This way you don't miss out on anything that we post if it's being if it's edifying to you, if it's a blessing to you. So God bless.